it's Marge from Fashion Index, and today Tirsa and I are actually bringing you guys Fabscrap. I want to just let you know, I encourage you to stay on until the end of the video. We are actually doing a whole tour through Fabscrap's entire warehouse. They're going to bring us from beginning to end and show us the whole process. So stay on and watch to see what the whole process is in getting fabric to Fabscrap, and then what they do in order to repurpose and recycle that fabric out into the public. So, Erin, yeah, cheers. Tell us what's going on.
Erin, so I just want to do a quick introduction for everybody who might or might not know us. I'm Tirsa, and this is Marge, and this is Erin from Fabscrap. Marge and I are part of Fashion Index, which is an online platform where you can find all of the human resources, materials, and suppliers that you need to get started with your business or grow your business. So we're super excited to be hosting Erin today from Fabscrap. And I would love you to just kind of like tell us about you and about Fabscrap and what it's all about.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. Hi, everyone. My name is Erin. I am the community.
Hold on.
Uh-oh, we lost her.
I think I have to bring her back in.
That's all right. We'll bring her back in, and Erin will be able to tell you about Fabscrap and all of the fabulous things that they do to find a second life or an end of life for all of those scrap materials out there.
And it's also surprising when you find out this is not just a donation situation, which I had actually previously thought it was. It's actually, you have to sign up for their service.
Hello.
So it's a paid service.
Hello. I'm so sorry. This warehouse is really known for being really bad with Wi-Fi connection. So I just wanted to make sure I found a good spot where I have the Wi-Fi. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I can restart my little introduction.
Yes, please.
Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Erin. I am the community lead here at Fabscrap. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure Marge and Tirsa have done a good job introducing us, but we are a fabric and textile recycling nonprofit. We're located in Brooklyn and in Philadelphia, and really our mission is to end consumer or commercial textile waste. So we work directly with the fashion industry in New York City and in Philadelphia to collect their pre-consumer textile waste.
Right. It's amazing. Yeah, this entire company and the way that it was founded is incredible. I just feel like I was reading a little bit up on it, even more so since we met, and finding out that it was actually founded by knowing how much fabric was actually going to the landfill, and never making it beyond, and it was like brand new fabric. So this is just phenomenal. Tell us, if you don't mind, Erin, like when companies sign on, before you got on, I was telling people, this is not just a donation, like you just drop, your goods off and go. This is actually carefully, it's a carefully curated program. You have to subscribe to Fabscrap. You have to, make an agreement, and you pay Fabscrap to actually come and collect your fabrics. And then they have their entire team, which is, the warehouse is unbelievable. And they actually separate all the different fabrics by color, by content, by everything. So we'll let Erin tell us a little bit more, but it's just an amazing program. And very large retailers. I mean, of course you have mid-sized retail brands, but you also have very large retailers. I love hearing that they are embracing this and working with Fabscrap, to actually show their corporate responsibility, that they're actually, doing what they say, they're walking the walk, and they're having Fabscrap recycle and push, the fabric out where it can actually be used out to the public through Fabscrap. So, and Erin, also don't forget to mention some of the amazing brands that are doing that, because that was like amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So just like you said, we are a recycling service. So we specifically work with brands in the fashion industry to be their textile recycling service. So just like brands would be paying for landfill pickup or their plastic and cardboard pickup, we want them to be funding their textile recycling. We really believe that the fashion industry needs to be held accountable for the waste that they're creating, but also be a part of the waste management process through funding it and through their own, their own money, because they're waste. So a big part, like you mentioned, is that these brands, they don't just donate to us, they're paying for the service. So essentially what happens is that these brands, they get these things called Fabscrap bags. I want to show you so badly, but that's where I had a little bit of a Wi-Fi problem. So I'm going to see if I can make my way back there, but if I start to lose connection, I'm going to scurry back. But essentially,
okay, stay where you are. Go back.
From headers and fabric cuttings and fabric rolls and sample garments. So the stage of the process that we are collecting textiles from these brands is in the process where they're creating sample garments. So I'm going to flip my camera around. So these are what our Fabscrap bags look like.
And Erin, I'm going to drop off so that people can see more of what you're showing. So enjoy, everybody, the tour, and really enjoy everything that she's sharing with us. It's phenomenal what they're doing, and I'm super excited for all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Okay, so just to pick back up, so these are our Fabscrap bags. All of our brands could get these bags, and they fill these with their textile waste. And what this looks like are a lot of headers like this. So it can be sample fabrics, it can be cuttings, it can be sample garments. Really, the goal is for them to fill these bags, and then once they are full and ready to get picked up, we come and we pick it up from them. Yeah. So a really important component of this is that, oh, nice, okay. A really important component of this is the brands are paying for this service, but we also offer a lot of additional incentives. So one, we want it to be super convenient. So we have an online portal where all of our brands can log on, and that's how they can request more Fabscrap bags. That's how they can request a pickup, which we do within like 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the notice that we get from these brands. And we also do proprietary and non-proprietary text management. Mm-hmm. So if they have materials that they don't necessarily want to be resold, but they would rather it be downcycled immediately, we offer that service as well. Yeah. And on top of this, in the portal, we actually report back to brands the data around their textile waste. So we can tell them what percentage was downcycled, so what percentage was shredded and turned into insulation, and what percentage actually ended up being completely reusable. So really quickly, I'm going to show you the pile. This is our infamous pile, and this is where all of our materials go to be sorted. So it's a lot.
It looks overwhelming, honestly.
It can be overwhelming. I would say that most of our staff have created a very nice relationship with the pile. We're in harmony with it. We're always in there pulling bags, and I'll show you that each bag has a number that, and this is what we transfer materials in. These numbers represent the brand's brand number. So this is how we're able to keep track of information and report it back to brands. So all of our textile waste ends up on this pile, but each bag is labeled to represent the bag or the brand itself.
Yep. Get it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And also, I do want to mention, you guys, if you're a student or if you're a diehard upcycler, just you have this drive and this interest and you love fabric, Fabscrap is always looking for volunteers who can help them to sort through these bags and put everything, in a more organized way so that it can be upcycled more quickly. So if you want to volunteer, literally just reach out to Fabscrap and DM them. I mean, let them know, find out what you can do. Yeah. They're located in Brooklyn and in Philadelphia. Yeah. So, it's an amazing way to give back. For corporations, they have the corporate give back days where they're actually, not even going into work those days and encouraging the staff to go out and donate their time. This is a great corporate give back. If corporations work with Fabscrap and work out a day for all the employees to come in and just help upcycle fabric is amazing. So
Yeah,
just
for sure.
yes.
And I can talk a little bit about our volunteer process and show people what it looks like. So once we have these bags from the pile, we then move into our volunteer space anyway. So I can show you what that looks like. This is some of our volunteer tables. So essentially how it works is that we have volunteer sessions Wednesday through Saturday. We have a 9 a.m. to noon shift and then a 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. shift. And essentially what you're doing when you're volunteering with us is you're sorting through textile waste. So each table represents a different brand. So you'll see that we have brand numbers here. And there's different categories. So you're going through the bags that are at your table. And it really is filled with a lot of headers that can look like this. There's a whole variety of material that we receive, but 75% of what we get are these fabric headers. So really the goal is to separate fabric that can be shredded and insulated into insulation or fabric that's reusable. So most of what our volunteers are doing are really removing fabric from non-fabric. So any paper or cardboard or plastic can get recycled into our paper category, and any mixed fiber fabric, such as 50-50 cotton, even like silk, nylon that are smaller than the size of this table. So about smaller than a yard, those are materials that we'd want to downcycle and turn into our shred material, mainly because that material isn't as reusable and isn't as desirable. So we have our shred category. We also categorize denim. Denim is a really great feedstock for downcycling and turning materials into insulation. So any fabric that is smaller than a yard would go into these categories. And of course, we do have our trash category. This is for materials like plastic, staples, stickers, really small non-shreddable scraps. So that could be like really, really tiny leather pieces that unfortunately we can't shred. So a very small percentage of materials actually go into trash. Most of it are getting shredded or they go into our reuse bin at the very bottom. This is where our cutting, so 1 yard plus pieces of fabric, but also really unique non-shreddable scraps. So maybe lace, sequins, leather scraps, etc. But yeah, this is how the volunteer process works. For all of our volunteers, for each shift where you come and volunteer with us, you get 5 pounds of free fabric. And you also get 30% off of all the other materials. So that includes our leather hides, our yarn cones, our trims and notions. And then you walk away with 5 pounds of free fabric. And you'd be surprised at how much you can get when it comes to 5 pounds of fabric. It's actually a lot more than what you think.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, and
well, it's just to me that I love that you have this organizational process. You know what I mean? And that I love that the fact that you can report back to the companies to show them how the fabric is being reused. It's just fantastic. So what's next in our tour?
Yeah. So once the materials are separated and our volunteers have gone through them, anything that's reusable ends up in our fabric thrift store. So I'm gonna turn it around, and this is our fabric thrift store. So it really ranges. Yeah, it's looking really good right now. So we have all of our fabric that is cuttings and our scrap pieces, which are, denim, but also color categorized. These are all $5 a pound. So we try to keep the material as accessible as possible, not only through our volunteer program giving away free fabric, but also keeping the price points as accessible as possible.
Right. Yeah.
In addition to this, we also have our rolls. So all of these are priced by the yard. So our team will burn test and test for natural fibers, but also take into account, the quality, the finish, the type of material it is.
Right.
And because we are kind of at the mercy of brands that recycle with us, we don't necessarily have an inventory or, back stock of these materials. All of these are going to be one-off because they're one of a kind. They're offcuts from the design process. That also includes leather hides, so real genuine leather,
Oh,
and all different sizes too. We have lambskins and cow skins and all kinds of different material, even shearling.
oh, wow.
I know we just get a ton of different stuff. That also includes like trims and notions, and yarn cones. We have a lot of like industrial yarn cones for like knitting machines.
Oh,
This
amazing.
beautiful wall piece that we found and made out of pillowcases that we got.
That's awesome. Love that.
Yeah, so really what we're trying to do is prevent any sort of textile from going into landfill. So whether we're downcycling it and turning it into a lesser material called shoddy, which I can actually show you. I'll show you what that looks like.
Yeah.
So this is the material that is produced when you shred textiles. It basically pulls the fibers apart of different textiles and it turns into this really fluffy gray mass. Right. So on an industrial level, it turns into insulation for cars or moving blankets, carpet padding, etc. But we actually get it back from their shredder in this fluffy form so we can resell it. So I've seen people use this for like pillowcases and stuffed animals and different fiber arts.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Wow.
So it's a really great option for materials that are too small for reuse.
Yeah.
But even the scraps we will resell because a lot of people like using that smaller material. Yeah. So I'll show you, these are our scrap bins.
Yeah.
We color categorize them. So even materials that are too small, anything that is still in great condition, right, we'll color categorize and sell still. So that way people can really find as much use in this material as possible.
That is phenomenal. I love it. Well, it's great. I love the just what you are doing as a company is groundbreaking. It really is. I cannot wait until you're literally coast to coast because we know that your services are needed literally in every state. So that's fantastic. Is there anything that we haven't covered? Like, does that cover the warehouse beginning to end?
Yeah, essentially, like we covered our service, our bags. Like I said, all the companies that recycle with us get back a lot of data and a lot of information about what happens to the materials that they recycle with us. So we give them back reports every month, and then also at the end of the year so they can see their cumulative impact. We equate the amount of pounds that they save from landfill to CO2 emissions saved and to trees planted, so that way they can use these reports in ESG reports for their company, you know, their social media, etc. They have solid proof that they're doing something about their waste. And in addition to that, we really put a lot of value into our community. So our community of volunteers is a huge reason why we're able to, you know, sort through these materials and really make this happen. So our volunteer community is huge. So if you're in New York or in Philadelphia, please look into coming and volunteering with us. You can find it on our website at fabscrap.org. Our Eventbrite will list all of our open and volunteer slots. And our reuse system is really just a push for circularity, a push to show that even though this material was considered waste at one point, it's actually very reusable. And just like you'd find at a thrift store, it's super fun to come and hunt and see what kind of materials you see in here.
It's amazing because I love the fact that you actually have everything. Like, who would ever imagine that you had hides and everything there? Fabric by the roll, just, you know, scrap fabrics that could be used for anything now because people are making whole brand new garments out of scraps of fabric. And actually, because they're one of a kind, they can be even sold for more money because they're one of a kind, which is a great opportunity for crafty kind of sewers. So that's fantastic. I also want to mention that there are events coming up. I mean, there's Giving Tuesday, guys, right? Giving Tuesday, right? That we're coming right up. So it's next week, it's next Tuesday. But you do not have to shop at Fabscrap to give back to them. If you cannot be at Fabscrap, you can donate to Fabscrap. They are a non-for-profit. And as you all know, like, the only way for them to grow and really eventually get to be coast to coast is with support from people who believe in upcycling and what they're doing. And what they are doing is so incredibly important. It's more than it's just important. It's necessary in our industry. So if you're not in any remote location that you could actually go to a Fabscrap and participate there, or even going just to their thrift store, you can definitely give back just by donating to them. So we will include a link on when we post this, and we'll also be reposting this to YouTube for Fabscrap. But go to their website, Fabscrap, FABSCRAP.org, and just click on the donate button and just help them to grow and be where they need to be, honestly. It's just an amazing organization. We love what you guys are doing, Erin. It's like, it really is. It's huge. And it's so desperately needed in this industry. I feel like for a corporation, you're taking a burden off of them. I mean, just by subscribing to your service, they're able to speak to what they might believe in, but might not have obviously the time to do, you know? So it's just a huge opportunity to partner with Fabscrap and just really subscribe to their service. All of you bigger corporations out there, this is be a weight off your shoulders. I mean, really, you get all the reporting sent back to you monthly, and then year end. It's just a great way to show what you are doing, and not having to do all the labor involved in it. So great. Well, Erin, thank you so much. We just love what you're doing, and we can't wait to just keep pushing you guys out there and get the word out.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for shining this light on us and giving me the chance to show your audience around Fabscrap. And I hope that they all learn something new and that they come and follow Fabscrap on Instagram, and also to support us this Giving Tuesday and come and volunteer with us. We also have a lot of fun workshops coming up in December that are virtual. Yeah. So if you're interested, we have a holiday card making one, a sweater mending, and we're also doing a virtual shopping experience. So those are going to be on the Mondays in December. So if you're interested, go to our Eventbrite and you can find the link for those too. But of course, like you said, you can always support us through your donation and just by following us and keeping up with what we're doing. Definitely. So thank you again for having us on this live. I really appreciate it. So does Fabscrap.
Of course. All right. Take care, Erin. Great to see you.
Bye. Thanks.